This is Malham, a small, beautiful village nestled in the heart of the Yorkshire Dales National Park. Each year, this small village can reach over 100,000 visitors that come to explore the natural beauty of this extraordinary place. Malham attracts a crowd as it's home to some of the most extraordinary limestone landmarks in the country. The biggest of the three limestone landmarks is Malham Cove, a 70-metre white limestone cliff that has taken visitors' breaths for centuries. It's formed by glacial meltwater carving a massive waterfall over 12,000 years ago from the last ice age. The glaciers made their way over the landscape and extracted rock from the face of the cove away. What used to be a massive waterfall thundering down Malham is now a rock face that challenges walkers and rock climbers. Furthermore, the cove is famously known for being on the silver screen in a scene from the film Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. Just a short walk from the village lies a tranquil waterfall hidden beneath the woodland, Janet's Foss, formed by Gordell Beck water flowing over a limestone outcrop covered in a deposit of tufa. This porous rock has built up over time to create a wide lip over which the waterfall cascades into the pool below. The lime-rich water and the beautiful magic woodland creates a popular spot for natural beauty gazing and for people to go wild swimming, as it has a deep pool at the bottom of the foss. Janet was said to be the queen of the local fairies and lived in the cave behind the fall. The last main limestone landmark of Malham is Gordell Scar, which is another landmark that has stolen visitors' breaths for hundreds and hundreds of years and has inspired many famous artists and writers in the past. Gordell Scar was created with the successive ice age, which carved a deep gorge over thousands of years to what we see today. It is known to have smaller caves collapsing on top of it, contributing to making the gorge so deep, and now many people enjoy climbing up the gorge and taking the wonderful landmark in. Altogether, these three landmarks are the crown jewels of Malham, which gather people from all around the country to visit. And still, to this day, Malham is the most popular village in the Yorkshire Dales National Park. No matter if it's a wet, dull day or a sunny day, people pile into the village to visit. The number of people visiting the village can be seen as a good and bad factor for the village. But to understand tourism in Malham more and to see how exactly it's affecting Malham in good and bad ways and what is being done to keep it sustainable and safe, I talked to Chris Wildman, Chairman of Kirkby Malham Council, to discuss the topic further.
So I've been here for about 30 years, probably a bit longer. We farm in the Dale and we also have a business, Town End Farm Shop and Wildman Charcuterie, and I've been on the council for probably about 20 years. When you consider tourism in Malham, you have to look at history first of all, because tourism in Malham has been going on for over 100 years, possibly even over 200 years, and it's to do with geography. It's to do with what's over my shoulder. Geography and geology, and they've been here for millions of years, basically since the Ice Age, and since humans were wandering the surface of the Earth, they've been fascinated with anything slightly out of the usual. So it's a natural geographical beauty spot that's of interest to artists, painters. You know, way before social media, TV, video and everything, there was actually people here writing poems, painting pictures of it, and that's how it spread. The railways, you know, there was a railway at Belbusk, that was the nearest railway station, and people used to come to there, get a horse and cart, or just walk all the way up to Malham, have a day in Malham, bit of a day trip, and then go back. And the railways kind of allowed that. That's the first thing to consider. Tourism is not new. It's been happening here for a very long time. Then it's kind of how you manage that. Obviously, we've had the Julia Bradbury Walk effect. So that was a TV programme about Britain's greatest walks. Malham was very high up on the list, if not the top. Julia Bradbury's a well-known media figure. She ate in the tea room here, and that was very, very popular. And there was a spike after that. So now, rather than it being, you know, a painting or a poem by Wordsworth or somebody, the spikes now are bigger. If there's a TV show and it gets repeated again and again and again, then obviously you will have increased tourism to whichever area it happens to be. So we have to manage that a little bit, and it kind of depends what it is. Getting people out into the countryside, getting some fresh air, a bit of exercise, all good. It's just then how you kind of manage that. Is there enough parking? That's been a major issue. Public transport, is there sufficient public transport? And basically there isn't. It's actually got worse over probably the last 20 years than it used to be. So that creates a problem with cars. And wherever you've got cars, you've got congestion, you've got the environmental concerns even. Would a bus not be more environmentally friendly than 50 cars? Where do you put all those cars? We have some car parks. The Yorkdales National Park have car parks. And we've got sort of a farmer's field that used to get opened at weekends and bank holidays, and that was pretty much it. We now have a series working with sort of business collaboration with the parish council, with the field owners, with the businesses. We now have probably about 4 fields that are open, because there's also planning permissions, and you're not allowed to open fields just to park for more than 28 days. So we had to look at planning permissions, we had to look at having more than one field and rotate those. There's been a lot of things to actually work out. As far as positives and negatives for the locals, obviously the main two really are employment and accommodation. If you have a very popular area, it's very beautiful, it becomes very popular, you have people buying second homes, you have people buying holiday cottages, rentals. So whilst you need an element of accommodation for the visitors, and they will then hopefully support the businesses, the pubs, the restaurants, the farm shops, etc. It has to be a bit of a balance. If you don't have any locals, then you don't have any businesses and you don't have anything here, and then people will stop coming. So it's a balance. Safe and sustainable. So with some of the parish land, for example, we do health and safety, annual visits and health and safety reports to try and make sure that they're safe. We've just done some tree surveys and done some work at Gordale Scar because there was a rock fall. It's a natural geography and geology, so yeah, you're always going to have some loose rocks, but we just kind of try and do an annual review of that just to make sure there's nothing too dangerous there. But at the end of the day, people use it at their own risk, really. It's open access land, SSI open access land, there's footpaths, so, but we have to make sure that the parish council's putting little signs up just to say beware of the rocks. There's also some little woods and forests that we look after, so just making sure that they're surveyed every year. Ash dieback's a massive problem at the moment, so we've literally got over 100 trees that are suffering from ash dieback. And so we need to look at making sure they're safe, but also we need to look at making sure that we replace those. So from an environmental perspective, planting some more trees to replace the ones that we're losing, and doing that is important. There's quite a lot of environmental projects. As part of Kirkby Malham Parish Council, we have a subgroup called MEG, which is the Malhamdale Environmental Group. And they've got loads and loads of sub-projects that they've been working on. So there's tree planting, tree maintenance, we've got our own tree nursery. So we're taking native trees from here and cultivating those so that we can then put native trees from here, literally from this little few miles, and put those back. Very small scale because we're only tiny, but with some quite big ideas.
My journey through exploring tourism in Malham has revealed both sides of the story to me. I found out tourism breathes life into the village by supporting local businesses and preserving the village's beauty, and also building a community around Malham while bringing its challenges to the table. Through my interview with Chris Wildman and talking to people myself, I've seen how Malham is finding its balance between protecting all its amazing beauty while giving everyone the chance to explore and enjoy what Malham has to offer. We should also appreciate the volunteers who give their time up to keep Malham sustainable and safe for all visitors to enjoy. Malham is a very unique village filled with beauty, wildlife, landmarks and everything in between. We need to remember that nature's beauty isn't ours to destroy, it's ours to protect for future generations to enjoy.